Commencing transmission. Engaging scramblers. Proxy chain initialized. And now, live from his hidden base at the Earth's core, the future ruler of Earth, Doomcock.
Greetings, my future subjects. Dicta Van Doomcock here. Midnight's Edge invited me to take a few minutes to discuss the vile and horrific case of cinematic malpractice known as Fant4stick. As those of you who are fans of Midnight's Edge know, Tom, Rob, and Andre did a stellar job covering the hell out of this movie, tracing the production from its rocky origins through its epic and legendary production dysfunction, and have documented its failings to an extent that no other mortals could ever match, with the customary Midnight's Edge thoroughness that has made their channel legendary among film aficionados. So, what is there left to say that they have not already said? Why did Tom ask Doomcock to provide his perspective on this almost incomprehensibly incompetent shitstorm in light of their exhaustive coverage? They asked me because Doomcock can provide the single point of view that eludes them, the point of view of a supervillain evaluating the character of Victor Von Doom. Doomcock watched Fant4stick just prior to recording this review. Prior to creating my YouTube channel, Doomcock actively avoided horrible movies, and so this horrid mess was not on Doomcock's radar, nor were the two previous Fantastic Four movies starring Jessica Alba and Chris Evans and the other two guys I don't remember, because I knew they were going to be mediocre with a chance of shitty. One of my superpowers is knowing when a movie isn't going to be worth seeing, and it is a power I used to employ with regularity and gratitude. Alas, now that Doomcock is waging his war to defend pop culture, Doomcock watches terrible movies because he must in order to review them. Even so, Doomcock could not deny the request of his good friends at Midnight's Edge, so here I am. And I assure you, the pain is still fresh as I speak these words, not 30 minutes after finishing this tepid turd of a comic book trope. So, what did I think? First of all, Dr. Doom is nowhere to be found in this movie. There's a scraggly hipster-type douchebag programmer named Victor Von Doom, but aside from the name, this scruffy, sullen little nothing has nothing in common with Dr. Doom. As a lifelong fan of the Stan Lee Jack Kirby Fantastic Four comic books that laid the cornerstone for the Marvel Universe, I am well acquainted with the character of Doom. Born to a gypsy witch in the European kingdom of Latveria, young Victor learned how to run cons with his gypsy tribe. When his mother is killed by vengeful rubes who got ripped off, Victor discovers magical tomes and equipment in his mother's chest. He schools himself in the dark arts as he bides his time, awaiting the chance to exact revenge against those who killed his mother and the world. Naturally brilliant, Victor receives a scholarship to a prestigious American university where in the course of conducting scientific experiments designed to contact the spirit world, possibly to communicate with his beloved dead mother, Victor is injured in an explosion and hideously scarred. He retreats to the Himalayas and is taken in by monks. He learns their lore, and by force of his personality recruits them to his cause. It is these monks who forge his armor, and thus concealed by an iron mask, Victor Von Doom seizes Latveria, and from there wages war against the world, and against his worst enemies, the accursed Fantastic Four. There's none of that in this film. Nothing whatsoever. And thanks to Josh Trank, Victor Von Doom goes from being the greatest villain in comic book history to being the worst villain in cinematic history. We don't know where this Doom is from. He has no accent. He has no great passion. He is said to be brilliant, but so is Sue Storm, and so is Johnny Storm, so that's no big deal. In fact, since Ben Grimm is the only one who urges them all when they idiotically steal the quantum jump thingy and go to the other dimension to stop fucking around and get back to the ship just before brilliant Victor Von Doom sticks his hand in the alien glowing shit and all hell limps loose, you could say that even Ben Grimm is brilliant, or at least more so than this Victor Von Doom, who sticks his hand in alien glowing shit from another dimension. This Doom has no dead mother to haunt him and motivate him. He makes some noise about the world being doomed in some kind of vague and mumbled ecological commentary, which is the only thing that even remotely passes for a villainous rant in this movie. But since 3 to 6 lines do not a rant make, we can safely say that nowhere in this film does Dr. Doom rant or express any passion whatsoever. He has no armor or mask to speak of. Instead, his blackened spacesuit is burned to his body and face, melted as it was by the alien glowing shit that he stuck his hand into. So, let's recap. This Dr. Doom doesn't have armor, doesn't have a mask, doesn't rant, isn't passionate, has no tragic past, does not rule a small European country, starts out as part of the Fantastic Four as opposed to being an enemy of the Fantastic Four. Yes, he goes on the ill-advised drunken mission with Mr. Fant4stick instead of Sue, who mysteriously contracts her powers when the pod teleports back and explodes, hitting her with, I guess, magic rocks or dust or something. So yeah, Doom has no great antipathy for Reed Richards, except for a vague resentment at the end of the movie. He is not a scientific wizard adorning his armor with all sorts of high-tech weaponry. He has no armor, and he knows nothing of black magic. His power all comes from the alien glowing shit that he stuck his hand into like a fucking idiot. And what is that power? It is the power of Zap. Yep, the power of Zap. The most powerful, dangerous power. The most dangerous power in the whole universe because it's a totally undefined power that can do anything the hack screenwriters needed to do, and so it's impossible to defend against. Kind of like the power of Josh Trank, who can lull audiences into a stupor for 80 uneventful minutes without any action whatsoever aside from Dr. Doom sticking his hand in alien glowing shit, so that by the time you finally get 10 minutes of superhero combat action at the end and none of it makes any sense, it's no big deal because your brain has been teleported to another dimension, a dimension of shopping lists and mental notes to feed the dog and take out the trash when you get home. Doom gets the power of Zap and Zap, flying rocks, Zap, zapping Sue, Zap, stretching out Reed, Zap, opening a portal from his world to our world, destroying our world in order to get him, I guess, a junkyard on his world, judging from all the trashed cars and planes and shit raining down on his bleak and boring barren landscape. Doomcock honestly has no idea what Doom thought he was doing. His motives, if any, were opaque, and at this point I was beyond caring. I was just longing for the credits that eventually came, because time is mercifully finite. To say that Fant4stick is dull as watching paint dry is to insult drying paint. At least when the paint is dry, it is useful and not a complete waste of time, effort, and breath. So, how does Dr. Doom rate as a supervillain on the Doomcock scale of villainy? On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the best, I rank him thusly. Ranting, 0. Eloquence, 0. Intelligence, 3. -5 for sticking his hand in alien glowing shit. Origin story, 0. There was none. Power, 4. The power of Zap is too generic to be much of a threat. Passion, 2. Skill, 1. Although it does take a certain amount of dexterity to stick your hand in alien glowing shit. Great memorable lines, -6. Costume, 2. Equipment, 1. He has a tattered cape somehow, but that's all. In short, if Lee and Kirby had started the Marvel Universe with this Dr. Doom, it would have ended decades ago, not with a bang, but a whimper. Fant4stick is an actionless action movie, a superhero movie with no heroes, and a film with no reason to exist. This is Dicta Van Doomcock entreating you all, stay angry.
Is this a wrap?